So right now, it's July, what's today? Today is July 12th. And right now I'm in a weird spot. A lot of the bus is done on the inside. Like it really is. The stuff that's not done, what I call like the nitty gritty details that are just trying to make this thing look more perfect, more finished, more put together, but it wouldn't prevent anybody from living in it. And we have like 40, let's just say 40 days. Today's the 12th, we said like the 16th, 17th, 43 days, 44 days, whatever it is, to have this thing finished, and that includes the outside. The outside is gonna be a big project because you have to sand the whole thing. We've got to paint a whole lot of stuff. We've got to grind and patch some exterior stuff. So I'm expecting like 2 weeks on the outside. It'll probably be 3 weeks because, you know, the bus build. But what I'm getting at is like, I don't know if I should start focusing on these perfection details, start working on the outside, start moving things in. One thing I do have to do is I bought an accumulator tank. Our water works well, but if we turn it on like halfway, I'll have to go outside and show you. That'll be a better illustration of what I'm talking about. This is our current water setup. This comes from the water tank, this comes from the shoreline, water filter, water pump, valves, water filter, valves. Then it goes to our hot water here, which is here. Returns, all right. So I'm not gonna do a detailed walkthrough of that right now, but with our water pump, if we turn the water on all the way, oh jeez. If you turn it on all the way, it works great. Does what it's supposed to, But if I turn it on halfway, it does that. It does that like trickling thing. And the reason that is that noise that you're hearing is the water pump constantly cutting on and off, on and off, on and off. It's losing pressure, building pressure, losing pressure, building pressure, losing pressure, building pressure, losing pressure, building pressure. It should stay on all the time or it should be off all the time. But because we're doing that halfway mark, it's not registering enough pounds per square inch to activate the water pumps consistently. So if we wanted to like run a little bit of water, it would cut that thing on and off, which is louder, but it's also really bad for the water pump because it's just like using it more than it needs to be. So the way to fix that is this accumulator tank. This holds the water pump at a certain PSI consistently, whether it's all the way on, halfway off, all the way off. It holds it at a certain point, either at that PSI, which I think is 17 PSI, 10 PSI. It's either at 10 PSI or higher. So it's kind of neat, but I didn't install this at first because one, I wasn't 100% sure what it did, but now I do. And it's not necessary, and it's like 50 bucks, but it makes it a lot better. So I'm gonna try to install this. The tricky part is, whenever I did this stuff, I didn't really plan for improvements. I've got this tiny little section to install this big little thing. I'm not 100% sure how I'm gonna do it. It might be easy, it might be really tricky. So first things first is draining our 100-gallon water tank, and I pressure washed the bus with that water the other day, so it's pretty well empty. But if you don't have an exterior valve hooked up to your water pump, I would highly encourage you to do that because some people don't do that, which is fine. I can use the water pump that I have to my disposal to siphon the water out of it as opposed to just gravity, which might be a little faster, but either way it's just easier. So I'm gonna turn this on, we're gonna run it out, and then let's see about installing this thingy. One thing that kind of sucks about like the whole plumbing side of things is I'm not rich like some of these other YouTubers like Gilligan Phantom. I'm not rich like that guy. That guy's rich. I didn't buy the Shark Bite connectors because I don't know if you guys did pricing on Shark Bite connectors, but each 90-degree turn is $10. Let's just say even the T's are $10. This is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. We're at 100 so far. That's just that section. 110, 120, 130. That's $130 before I even made it to the front of the bus. So let's just say 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 80, 100. Dude, I would have spent like $300 in just those bits. Or you can just do what I did. What I do? I bought these little thingies. What those thingies? These little thingies. They're like 50 cents each. Baller on a budget over here. But what I was getting at is those things suck to get off. They work well when they're on, but they suck when you gotta take them off. I was gonna put it, like, try to move this water pump over and put it right there because, you know, like, kind of keep it in line. I was looking and reading and I'm like, this is complicated. I don't even know if it's gonna fit. But then I was like, well, I've got this whole line, but because the accumulator tank has like a thing, I decided to put it right here. Right there. So water comes from the tank, goes to the water pump, goes up, goes to the outside spigot. So technically that's not ran through the accumulator tank, but so then it goes to the water filter, then it comes through. It goes to the water filter, it goes outside to the hot water heater, or goes to the front of the bus. Hot water comes in, goes to the front of the bus. Long story short, the things that we would be needing the accumulator tank for, which would be shower primarily, and then the sink, are ran through the accumulator tank. So that's pretty cool. And I can't really test it a whole lot because we're out of water. And the closest place to fill it up is about 250 feet away. So we'll just have to wait and see, but yeah. My phone has been going off, so Emily's texting me, and it's time to eat dinner, and I think maybe call it a day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you don't like it, and if you could subscribe, I'd really, really appreciate it. Getting there.